Are you a huge wrestling fan? Do you enjoy watching the WWE? If so, then check out Wrestling Discussions, my second podcast that's available on all streaming platforms where I discuss WWE topics. So tune in today. Welcome to this bonus episode of Aspiring Discussions. I'm your host, Ashley Janae, and as usual, I want to thank God for blessing me to drop another bonus, and I want to thank you all for your support. I really appreciate it. And this bonus is going to be about why it's important to create a bucket list, especially in the world that we live in today, and why you should achieve every goal that's on it. So let's get into it. So I'm sure you all so I'm sure all you all have heard about a bucket list, and some of you all may have been asked what's on your bucket list to do, and you may come up with activities or goals that you want to achieve. And in my opinion, I think everyone should create one so you can have an idea as to what you want to achieve in life, so you can work towards those goals so you don't have any regrets in life. So I know my bucket list consists of places I would like to travel to and things I would like to invest in. So I know for sure I would like to take a cruise to Hawaii, travel to Paris, France, and travel to Chile, that's in South America, and Italy in the next 1 or 2 years. So I do want to definitely start saving money to accomplish those goals. And things I would like to invest in, of course, is a house one day. And hopefully, I'm gonna just say, hopefully the market will be better because owning a home in today's market can be challenging. And kudos to all of the current homeowners because I know it may be hard to manage one right now. But only advice I would give you all is to keep pushing through and always have more than one way to make money out here to keep a roof over your head. But the pros of owning a home is basically ownership, and that's what I like about owning a home. It's basically you your own boss and you the owner, and you don't have to talk to a landlord about anything because you are the landlord making all of the decisions, and you are also creating generational wealth, which is a plus where you can pass it down to your children if you have any or someone you trust in your immediate family. And also another plus is paying your mortgage on time to the bank, which will better your credit. And I will also like to own some multi-family properties in the future to rent to other people because that's also a plus owning property, especially multi-family properties, because now it's like I would be creating those extra streams of income, and that's key to surviving out here in the U.S. is creating extra streams of income. And I would basically be playing Monopoly, which by the way is one of my favorite board games that I love to play with my sister because you basically learning the importance of ownership. And I also plan on releasing more music in the future and releasing more music videos, which, by the way, the music video for my second single will be released before the month is over. So be on the lookout for it. And of course, I will be promoting it on my social media page, and it will be on my YouTube channel and Apple Music and everywhere else once it's finally released. And I will leave the info in the box under my Linktree info. So I'm definitely excited about the video because it does have a special message at the end that everyone needs to see. And shout outs to my music video director Notion for putting together this project, who's also a music artist. And also shout outs to movie video director Carlos Torres for making an appearance, who's very talented at acting and putting together short films. And also shout outs to Mr. Braze Roberts, who also recorded scenes as well in the video, who's also another talented music video director. So definitely shout outs to those three. And then also I gotta thank the man upstairs for blessing me to be around those people as well. Because without God I don't think this would have ever happened. And also, I would like to perform at festivals to put myself out there more, rather it's in Chicago or other cities. It would really mean the world because that is a dream of mine, is to perform in front of a large crowd, to promote myself as an artist, connect with the crowd, and most of all, just having fun doing what I love to do. And I would also like to collab with various artists, whether they're independent or signed to a label. I'm all for it. That's really what I want. And I would also like to add another career to go along with my music and podcasting career, so I could always have multiple skills, because multiple skills equals multiple streams of income. So those are pretty much some things on my bucket list I would like to pursue and that I will do. But I would definitely encourage you all to create one if you haven't yet, because life is all about living it to the fullest, and it's also about achieving every goal that you want to achieve. But if you already started one, then start working on achieving every goal on that list, so you don't have any regrets about what you should have or what you could have did. Because right now life is so precious and unpredictable, so you just never know. So it's just very important not to take anything for granted and just do everything you said you want to do. And if your goal is to travel to Stonehenge, I'm just making this up. That's in England. Write it down and write down the total amount of days you want to stay in the country. Write down the expenses to find out the total amount of money you are looking to spend, like the plane ticket, the hotel, activities, and the cost of transportation you are going to be using to go place to place there. So that way you can start saving for the trip. And I would recommend saving at least 60 to 120 dollars every pay period. Or you can learn a new skill that can help you make money, or use a skill that you already have and find out ways on how to make money from that. Or if you want, you could do gig work on the side temporarily until you come up with the total amount for the trip. If you want to take a cruise, I would recommend preparing a year in advance so it won't cost you that much. And find out exactly where you want to go, how long you want to be overseas for, if it is an international cruise, and get the total expenses for your plane ticket and the price of the actual cruise. From experience, I love cruises because they are very fun. And everything is walking distance on the ship, and you have unlimited activities, and then they have nightclubs, and they have so many other activities as well, and then they have a fitness area, and then they have unlimited food and drinks, and basically just a lot of fun. So you would definitely get your money's worth if you prepare in advance for a cruise. But that's what it's all about, just preparing early so that way you can have fun and won't have to spend that much money, or a whole lot of money. If you want to learn how to play an instrument, find out which instrument you want to play, purchase it, and find some schools in your area or online courses that could teach you how to play. If you want to skydive, snorkel, or bungee jump, make sure you do it and plan ahead to find a place you want to do it at. But my advice to you all is, you know, is to try not to let anything slow you down from making your goals a reality, because everyone deserves to be happy doing the things they want to do, because again, you only have one life to live. And if you want to go to a sporting event like the Super Bowl, or maybe a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam, which is of course a WWE, or to a concert, just do it and make sure you prepare for it. Like my goal is to one day go to a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam one day. Since you all know I'm a huge wrestling fan, and that's why I got another podcast called Wrestling Discussions, which I hope you all check out as well. So one day I would go. So one day I would go to both, crossing my fingers, depending on where it would be held. And I hope to meet one of my favorite wrestlers one day while at the event. That would definitely mean the world if I could get at least 3 to 5 minutes to talk to one of them and get a pic with them. That would definitely be something unforgettable, excuse me. So it's just all about planning your goals ahead of time, making sure it's what you really want to do, and saving the money to do it. Because believe it or not, there are so many things you can do in this world or country. You just have to go for it and see it. But you want to make sure to keep your passport valid. If you of course are going to be traveling outside of the country, and make sure you have a real ID if you are going to travel domestically. But it's so much to see and do out here, so that's why I would recommend just keeping that passport going. And if your goal on your bucket list is to start a small business, then this is the time to start making it happen. Start brainstorming ideas on what type of business you want to start. Find out if it's going to be an in-person business or an online business. And find out how your business is going to help others out here. Come up with a budget on how much you going to spend to get started, and how much you're going to charge your clients for your products that you are selling. And then look into, of course, getting an LLC. And you could do that online by doing a Google search, because it's a lot of material on Google to help you get your LLC. And then you would have to get an EIN number from the IRS. And that's basically a number that identifies your business. And you could do that on the IRS website. And the best advice I would give you all is to talk to various business owners / entrepreneurs to receive all of the info that you need to get your business up and running. And I would definitely recommend going to business seminars as well to really get more info about starting a business, the benefits of having your business. And you could go to eventbrite.com to search for business seminars in your area. And I will leave that info in the box if anyone is interested in starting a business, or maybe learning how to run a business. But also, but always remember this, it's a process. It's not something you can do overnight. It just takes time. But as long as you know this is what you want to do, then you will be willing to do what you have to get it going, to start pursuing your dreams and start working towards your freedom and not pursuing someone else's dream. And that's the beauty of having your own business, because you're basically your own boss and you in control of your own time. So, I definitely leave that info in the box. And if you're thinking about getting a tattoo, and that's something you really want to do, then figure out exactly what it is you want so you won't have any regrets about getting one. And find a good, trusted, licensed tattoo artist that can do it. If you want to go back to school for another career, then go for it. Further your education. You just have to find the right school to attend, whether it's online and in person. It's whatever works for you. Just go for it and make it happen. And just make sure the tuition is affordable and something you can pay back without any issues. And then make sure whatever major you are studying for to pursue your career is something that you really want to do, instead of hoping it's what you want to do, so it won't be a waste of your time and it won't be a waste of money. Because at the end of the day, you want to be happy and passionate about what you are doing as a career or with your life. If you want to be a homeowner in the future, or you want to get a bigger home, I would definitely wait until the market gets better, as I mentioned earlier. Or you could look into different states where the cost of living may not be as much, and just determine the area you want to be in. How many bedrooms and how many bathrooms you want, the type of amenities you want included in your home. But most importantly, just make sure your credit is up to par, where you have a high credit score, so your mortgage or interest rate won't be as expensive, and where you will automatically be approved for the home. So that way you won't have to pay an arm and a leg. But just make sure whatever you're paying is affordable for you or your partner or spouse. But those are pretty much examples as to what should be on your bucket list. And it's basically things you want to do. And to make your bucket list fun, you could create a poster board with pictures that contain to your bucket list goals, and post it somewhere in your home, so you can see it every day as a reminder to just prepare for it and do it. Because as I mentioned earlier, life is so precious, so it's just best to do things you really want to do while you're still alive. Because as we all know, we live in a very unpredictable world where we just never know. So it's just best to make the most of your life and accomplish goals that you really want to accomplish, so you can fulfill your life and create memories as you check off tasks that's on your bucket list. So those are pretty much some ideas that can be included on your bucket list to do, and how to go about completing it, and why it's important to create a bucket list. So please, if you haven't already, come up with one. So that's going to do it for this bonus episode of Aspiring Discussions. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope I was able to inspire each one of you all to create or pursue a bucket list if you haven't already. And if you haven't, please tune in to episode 30 of Aspiring Discussions, where I sit down with Hollis Rock, who's a hip hop artist from Chicago, Illinois, to discuss his new EP titled Legendary, that's available on all streaming platforms, and many more. And I will leave that info to that episode in the box. And please check out my second podcast, Wrestling Discussions, that's available on all streaming platforms, where I will be releasing new episodes about the aftermath of SummerSlam. That, and then also predictions about Clash at Paris that will be on August the 31st. That will feature some guests. So please tune in once it's released. And of course, I will make some noise for those episodes. And I still have merch on my website if anyone is interested. And I will leave that info in the box as well. So again, thank you all so much. Stay safe and cool. And God bless you all.